Well, if you just joined us, a very good afternoon to you. Just gone 3 o'clock. Mohlakeng residents have now taken matters into their own hands. They're going from shack to shack looking for illegal miners. They've even destroyed multiple homes by now and also torched them in the West Rand township. Last week, violent protests against illegal miners led to one person being killed in Kagiso. Both our reporters, Moloko Moloto, is out on the ground for us this afternoon. Let's head over to him once again now. Moloko, good to have you back with us again. And so far, compared to what I've seen with Manqoba Mqunu, which is he's not too far away from you, you seem to have all the police with you. He has none of them.
And the irony, Gareth, is that where Manqoba is, there seems to be much action. Community members certainly busy there. But on this side of town, actually, we are out at one of the areas that's supposedly an illegal mine. I'm not too sure, really, Gareth, if this place really at any point, if it was ever a formal mine. However, we are being told that actually the so-called zama-zamas are excavating here. Only God knows what exactly are they using. But as you can see, and I will ask my colleagues to show you that particular excavator, the municipality working together with the police are trying to fill in these holes. So there were holes. However, the irony here is that they are using soil, Gareth, to fill in this. So those zama-zamas, surely it will not be difficult for them to come back and excavate should they decide to come back. But let me ask my colleague Shahid perhaps to just come to this side so that we can show you some of the operations, exactly what was happening here. So the police are leading efforts here. Essentially, earlier they threw some grenades, for instance, in this particular hole. They are telling us that they did this so that should there be people underneath, inside this particular hole, they must come out. And if nobody comes out, the police will then proceed to make sure that they fill in this particular holes. I'm just going to take you to another area where apparently when these zama-zamas, whatever they would have found, the minerals that they are mining here, I'm not too sure whether it's gold or whatever it is, they tend to wash it. If my colleagues can show you, they wash it from that side and then they take it. We're not sure as to exactly who are they selling this to. But yes, the people here are really fed up. They feel that they are under siege. And earlier, of course, we saw the police going to a local hostel led by the district commissioner, who was urging the people not to take the law into their own hands. I'm just going to ask my colleagues to go and speak to the local councillor here so that he can exactly tell us how they, as residents here, survive. Because he was telling us that these activities are now extending even to the residential areas. Going to ask my colleagues, it's a bit difficult to navigate these rocks. Thank you so much, Councillor. I'm just going to ask you to come a little bit closer. Earlier you were telling us that these people who are operating these illegal mines here have now moved over even into residential areas.
Yes, it's like that because it's time and time we get the problem to some community. Okay. It's linking ago some community members complaining about the way they are in trouble anytime into the kawa. We have gone and see that part. That is why we said the key thing to fight the zama-zama is to make sure that we close this operational center Sabone, which is Kitsone Kwitise. The main thing drive us to do that is that one. There are community members like Mofo, we extension 4 Mohlakeng, which is the problem. Ke gore batho ba ba epa gaufi le dintlo tsa bona.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, Gareth, he's saying that these zama-zamas have now moved from here. They are also excavating next to people's houses. But say you are a councillor yourself, you're part of council. Weren't you aware of these activities before they got to this stage?
As we have become aware about this activity, that is why we said we must make sure that we organize communities. We organized the South African Police Service. We organized other stakeholders and make sure gore rona ebe shut down at these operational centers rekwale di khutitso tseo ba di butseng, and make sure another thing re batla go senda go bone ke gore we don't want violence, but we want them out ba tswe ka di communities sa rona. We can't live like this ka fear re phelang ka yone as communities for ntho tse ba di etsang to our community. It's not only this one the problem, as gona le di problems tsa gore batho ba rofiwa batho ba thuntsiwa, where re tlo latela all those things is these people who are doing that thing. You can't trace them as le batho le gore are here without molao, they don't have papers to be here in our areas. That is why we are saying, for now we are saying, let them go out.
You want them to go back to their home countries, but do you really believe that with the police now giving this particular area some attention? We saw they started in eNCA as well. Are you confident that in the end you're going to have this illegal miners out of this town? Do you have confidence in the police?
Yes, as per action have happened on Friday, as this program has started Friday, we are with police, and then what we have seen, the way Maponis and the way Beregakate, we have seen already this thing will happen. If you kill a money, battle thing, and fight it and make sure it's out. And we have seen commitment to Maponis at this time.
Yeah, you have seen the police's commitment. He is saying that, Gareth, the fact of the matter is that the police, as much as they are here, already we had the Gauteng Premier David Makura saying that South Africa has become ungovernable, saying that the criminals have taken over. Of course, a lot of people will say that is the sentiment that a lot of South Africans have always had over the years, and it seems that no one else was listening. That is why you see that only when the communities are beginning to rise and take the law into their hands, that's when you will see the leaders coming down to address them.
Just briefly before I let you go, Moloko, as well, it's one thing for the police to be on the scene, but a lot of residents also saying not enough arrests. But when I spoke to you earlier today, the authorities you spoke to said there have been some arrests made. If you can hear me, talk to me about the arrests in the area today.
Well, Gareth, I'm really battling to hear you, but yes, when we spoke to the district commander of the SAPS, Major General Fred Kekana, he indicated that since this operation started on Friday, actually on Friday, they went into various households with the assistance of the locals, and they arrested at least 5 South Africans who are suspected of dealing with drugs and also possession of unlicensed weapons. But up to so far, he says they arrested approximately 28 people who are foreign nationals. Of course, he says the operation is continuing. We will know, of course, as time goes on, whether these people who were arrested indeed are foreign nationals. Because when we were in Kagiso earlier, we saw the police arresting 3 Malawian nationals. They showed them their passports, and their passports indicates that some of them expired in 2018. If I can just ask my colleagues to show you exactly what this TLB is doing, trying to throw these rocks inside this holes. But the fact that these people have managed to dig this particular area is just telling you that it will not even be difficult for them to excavate should they want to come back again, Karen.
Yeah, it's certainly a much bigger question. You can cover the holes for now, but that is a network of tunnels that have been created. Moloko Moloto, I'm going to leave you for now. I know you're struggling to hear me with the TLB in the background, breaking ground, trying to cover what I counted is 3 holes down in the area of Mohlakeng this afternoon. We're going to go back to our reporter Moloko Moloto a little bit later here on eNCA as the police, along with communities, continue to cover up those holes where the zama-zamas are apparently operating out of. Seems nobody is in those tunnels at the moment. It's a very different picture a little bit up the road, though.